It's Melzario here. Welcome to my channel. We're in Gravity Sketch. I'm using Oculus Pro, Meta Pro Oculus. I'm gonna show you all how to create this, design this. It's actually a very simple design. This is a speed form based on luxury sedan proportions. See, we have the fascia here. All right. So I'll show you all how to set it up. Typically, what I would do with a 3D design, I would have 4 views to work from: top view, side view, front view, and then rear view. But for this, I just used 2 drawings that I did in Sketchbook Pro. So I'm gonna show you all how to bring it in. If you haven't done so, go ahead to pull up landingpad.com on your desktop or phone, and you set up an account. You can use your landing pad to load in pictures, reference pictures into your landing pad, and you can pull them up in Gravity Sketch. So we have our menu here. You press the menu button. It's the blue with the lines, the white lines. You press that on your left controller, and you can go down to import. I already have it set up. I have Melzario's workspace. So this is from the landing pad. And the cool thing about the landing pad too is if you download Gravity Sketch on your computer, you can actually view your Gravity Sketch designs on a computer. You can't do any you can't modify them at all, but you can look at them, view them, and whatever. If you're showing a client or your boss or whatever, so that comes in handy too. It will come up as GRS. These are the drawings I have here that I import into my landing pad, and I'm able to retrieve here right inside the Gravity Sketch app. So you pull it out. Notice I'm using the different triggers. Like each controller has 2 triggers. I'm using the middle finger trigger on my right controller, and you can grab your drawings and just put them right in space. Grab and hold just like you would on a computer. Same thing here. These are the 2 I'm gonna pull up here. Go ahead, close the menu. Now, if you grab this with your right trigger and use the left trigger or middle finger trigger on your left controller, you can alter the size of the reference picture. So these are the 2 that I use to create this design, and I just use a prefab chassis to do this design. The design is based on a Mercedes CLS. I have this here, and now I'm gonna get rid of this. I already have this saved, so we want to start a new one. And you go to your menu, and you use your right controller to select and everything. You want to make sure your mirror is on, of course. You go to your save and export, and it's going to give you the option to do a new sketch. That's what you want to do. We want to discard this because I already have it saved. Okay. Go back up to your settings. Make sure your mirror is on. I prefer vertical lock so the vehicle can stay upright regardless of how you move the vehicle around in space. Mirror style, I just prefer to have it hidden. It's a bit redundant to have it visible in your design space. You see, you have it here, and it's just redundant. I mean, as long as you have the mirror on, it's on. So I'm gonna just have it hidden Smart Move. I like using Smart Move to manipulate the vertices and the faces within a drawing. It keeps everything constrained better than you would, better than if you had it off. So I like keeping that on. Surface contours enabled in edit mode. I like to keep that just as is. The stage floor, uh, I keep it off. It's a bit of a distraction for me. The road axis, you can turn that off and on. If you want to do screenshots, take pictures, you can have it on. Or I mean, I'm sorry, have it off, but I like to keep it on. Even when I take pictures to show that I'm in a design space. If I were to use it for a rendering, I'll just turn it off. All right, so you look around, you have your design space. I'm gonna grab this picture here. I'm gonna grab this here. Okay. And then we're gonna go into prefab. So if you go into your settings, you go to the top, you have sketch and aid, preferences, and more or workspace. We're gonna go to let's see, where is it? Prefab. That's down here. Okay. Should be down here. Reference video. Oh, let's go back. Okay. Let's asset library. 3D assets. Here we go. Templates. We have templates. So various templates that are uploaded into the program by the Gravity Sketch staff. You can use these. I like using this one. So you go to click on it and it's going to bring it up in space. Okay, there it is. When you click and hold and releasing into your design space, you have this. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go ahead and exit out of this. Okay. Now this is set up to where it has wool flats in a program as a prefab. If you try to delete it on its own, it's going to delete the whole thing because it's all one entity. Press the back button on your right controller and it'll bring it all back. Now, what you want to do, you don't have to necessarily use this. I like the wheelbase that this chassis gives. So that's why I'll use the wheel flats prefab. This is the right chassis for our design here. Let me blow this up while I'm thinking about it, just so you can see what's going on. Okay, that's just there. All right, so what you want to do, you want to, if you hold the wheel flats entities with your right trigger, middle finger trigger, you go over to your left controller and you have a couple options to edit points, to edit the surfaces, or you can separate entities and stuff. So you see that broken plane, we're just going to click that and it's going to separate into different entities. Go ahead, delete them. And now we have our chassis. Okay. So this is how we set up, the chassis. It's a basic chassis. It's for a four-door sedan or a four-door pickup truck. So we're just going to use this for now. They do have a prefab chassis where you can alter the wheelbase, the width of the vehicle. You can even alter, modify the tire sizes and stuff like that too, to a more specific um, vehicle that you're doing, whether it be a pickup, two-door, four-door sedan, uh, two-door coupe, uh, whatever you want to do. So this is what we have here. Okay. All right. So these are just used as references. So let's go and develop our layers. All right, so the first layer, if you see everything is on the same layer, let's add a few and we're just going to make some alterations, right? So let's put layer, if you click on the layer with, you could change the name, show layer, could toggle, you can even lock it in place so you won't be able to modify it. You have options, right? If you click on layer 1, let's name it chassis. Okay. Click on layer 2. We'll do this would be 3/4 front, or we'll just say front quarter view, right? And then we'll do this one as rear quarter view. Okay. And then this will be like wireframe. We are going to draw in a wireframe. So when we do our sheet metal, then we can use the wireframe as a reference. So we're going to add one more and we're going to do sheet metal. It's good to plan ahead. That way you're not struggling and run into hiccups as you're working on your design. So for chassis, it is what it is. For front quarter view, we're going to use the middle finger trigger on your right hand and hold and drag, and you can drop it into the layer. You see how it highlights green? That's what you want. And when you release into the layer, it's going to go back to its original position. Same thing here. With this a rear quarter view, you want to drop it in the rear quarter view. There you have it. Now the chassis is on its own layer. That's just to make it visible, invisible. Same thing, it's on its own layer. Rear view, on layer. Wireframe will be this, right? But you want to make sure you're in wireframe when you actually do it. So just a little demo. You see how we see. Okay, there we go. So this will be a wireframe. This is what we'll use as a reference when we go to draw a vehicle. Just a little something to show you what I mean here. Okay, windshield. Something like that. It's just a roughie. You'll see throughout the tutorial I could draw way better than this, but it's just to show you this is the wireframe, and once we start laying down the sheet metal, then we'll be able to use the wireframe as a reference. So I'm gonna back up a few. All right, we're good to go. So we're actually ready to start drawing. We have our reference pictures in. We have our chassis. Okay. And we have our layers. So we can go ahead and get started with the wireframe.